Hey everyone, welcome to the show today. My so-called fabulous. I'm Tiffany and I'm here to dispel a few myths. You know, we do that on this show. We talk about health and wealth and wellness and all the things. And you know, I thought, wonder about sauning. I've been told I need to dry sauna, wet sauna, infrared, all the things for not wealth necessarily, but health and wellness. There it is. So I've decided to bring on a fabulous friend that has been on the show 6 times, I think now. So welcome Henry Abuto and Nick with Hälsa Nordic Spas. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having us, Tiffany.
Well, it's so good to
Absolutely.
see you. It's great to see you.
I know.
I love you. I always have. You
adore
always
you.
will. But
Yes.
anyway, on to Nick.
Yeah, he's a star here. Yeah.
So Nick, tell us about yourself. When Henry, he buzzed me. He was at the gym. I was at the gym, and we were talking about health. And he said, "Hey, there's something you may want to hear." So tell us what you're doing, because wellness is everywhere.
Yes. Well, I think regardless of the industry, I'm recognizing and seeing a need for authentic human connection within our community, within society in general, and that became more evident after we all journeyed through COVID and kind of settled into these different pockets. So first and foremost, it's like, how do I create more intentional spaces to have those community, to have those really authentic conversations. So ironically enough, one of the best places that I've experienced that in my own life has been in a sauna. So that kind of began our journey of exploring, okay, what does it look like to mirror these two worlds of health and wellness, but also authentic, intentional connection with the people you're with.
Right.
So that's kind of like what we stepped out, figuring out, okay, what does it look like to provide that type of space for people to do that?
Right. So tell me this. So saunas, when you go to a spa or a hotel or a gym, they may have a spa, okay? A sauna
Yes.
is what we say. So tell us the difference in the sauna that you have, which is Nordic, is that
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Okay, so tell me the difference, because I go into a sauna, I don't care for heat, but I think also it's a mindset, and I do want you to talk
Yes.
about, I want you to talk me through this, but tell
Yes.
us about your particular saunas.
Yes. So our saunas, we custom build true Nordic saunas. And what that means is basically the heat source in that sauna. It is heated essentially by a mass of granite rocks, whether that's heated through traditional wood burning stove or electric. The idea is that you're heating up a massive stone that it is then emitting a beautiful layer of heat off into the room. What you'll find is there's kind of 3 different types, if you will. You're going to have your dry sauna, which is your traditional Nordic sauna. You're going to have your steam rooms, and then you're going to see some of your infrareds. Your steam rooms, those are like true steam. They've got a mechanical, think of a fog machine fogging out a concert. You're going to have a small room that is basically injecting steam into that space. High humidity. Your infrareds, that heat source is coming through a light in a lamp that is infrareding into that space. It's a much cooler heat. In the true Nordic saunas, the heat is coming from a mass of granite stones.
Okay. So yours being dry heat.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna dumb this down for myself. For dry heat versus wet heat versus red light.
Yes.
So tell me why the dry heat is better, or is it better?
Yeah, the dry heat, it's really about between the 3. It's really about the overall temperature and what you're looking for in there. When you're getting into a true Nordic sauna, your temperatures are going to range from 170 to 200 degrees, which is going to very quickly kind of put you into a state where your body's going to start activating its cardiovascular system, which is really what you're looking for. And the other styles of sauna, that length of time that it takes to reach that point with your heart rate is going to take longer. So the traditional Nordic sauna is really set up to achieve that in a much quicker amount of time and a more authentic heat.
Wow. How long can you stay in the sauna?
Well, you're looking for anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes depending upon the temperature. Now, I will say, I think Western culture has kind of put this stigma of macho man behind it, like, oh, I'm going to try and sit up on the top bench. I want the temperature to be super hot. Who can stay in the longest? And I'd love to, like, that's not what the sauna is about. And it's more about listening to your own body, pressing through some of that uncomfortableness in that space. But it's not about who can stay in the longest, who can stay in it with the hottest heat or at the top bench. But it's more about looking inward as you enter into that space, listening to your body, feeling your heart rate raise up, and finding that comfortable place within that.
And just sweat it out. How long have you stayed in it, Henry?
So I typically do the 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, then get out, do a cold plunge, then back in. But yeah, so typically 2-3 rounds, and then in the cold water, and then I've adjusted. I'd rather be hot than cold any day of the week. So like,
Yes,
I think it
we've
was
had
less for me to adjust to that than the cold plunge. The cold
Yes.
plunge was a little harder for me.
Ugh.
But like you said, it's a mindset thing. And also, like you and I have talked about, when you know your body, just listen to the cues, what's your body telling you, what's not telling you, what's wrong, what's right, what feels good, what doesn't. So just like, everybody's kind of different, and your body will tell you like, hey, this isn't right, or this time to step out, or maybe regulate yourself enough. So I think really listen to your body. So when I listen to mine, I'm just like, 20 minutes. Like this morning, I was in there for 18 minutes. I was like, yeah, it's time to get out and then get some air and cold plunge and go back in. And
Wow.
yeah. So.
Okay, y'all tell me. Okay, because cold plunge. I mean,
Yeah.
I know people that put literally have their bathtub filled
Yeah.
with ice.
Yes.
I mean, ice. That's he and I can do the heat. I
Okay.
can. I don't
Yeah.
know how long.
Yeah.
Don't hold it to me.
Yeah.
We'll see at your event. But the cold plunge is tough for me. What is so great about the heat to the cold?
Well, I think it's just one of those things that's amazing to pair together, especially when you're looking for the full health benefits of this experience. I don't think there is another activity that you can pair together to get your heart to experience this level of stress, and it's healthy stress. When you go in to the sauna and it's 175 degrees and we're reaching that point of your heart rate is raising, your sweat glands are open, you're detoxing, your heart rate is pumping, and you are pumping blood aggressively to the very ends of all your extremities. And what that's doing is it opening up your blood vessels. So now when you translate that to then going outside and getting into the cold, you're doing the complete opposite. You slip into that cold, adrenaline kicks in, your heart rate raises a little bit, but then as you work through a little bit of breath work, dopamine starts to kick in, and then your heart rate starts to settle out. And what your brain is telling your body, we gotta protect the internal organs, and it starts restricting all that blood flow from your extremities and focusing it down in your heart. In that process, from the blood being pumped so aggressively all the way through the body, then all of a sudden restricting it, you are exercising electricity in your veins, which is like, you want to talk about longevity, the best things that you can do for your body, like that is it. And outside of, like, I just don't know where else you're going to experience that or be able to put your body in that type of healthy stress, because we live in such climate controlled environments.
Sure.
Our bodies are very comfortable and never put in healthy stress. So it's just, I think that's why it gets paired so well. You by all means don't have to have the cold plunge paired with sauna, but it's kind of like if you're cooking and you want that fine wine paired with that perfect meal, it's kind of like, well, let's figure out how to really join these together.
Exactly. So Henry, when you've experienced this with the public, so how are they receptive, or who's your target? I mean,
You know what's interesting about this? Like, there's really not a lot of barriers to entering into this, minus, of course, like finding one, so, or a location or something like that. But it's very low barrier to access. And so for me, I'd done a sauna once or twice before in college, with sports and whatnot. And then I met Nick last year through a series of conversations and whatnot. And I was like, okay, let me see about this. And so like maybe 5 months ago, shortly after my birthday, we went and did, and him and some of his friends, his wife, and some of the team, and my partner and I was like, okay, kind of got there, and I was like, I didn't know what to expect really, but I was like, okay, and I also didn't know what environment was going to be with other people, because everybody comes in different expectations, and I'm meeting a bunch of people for the first time in such a vulnerable setting, because like you're doing something physical with other people maybe for the first time. And once I like got over myself of like overthinking this, like, okay, let me just step in and experience this for what it is, and I'm
Lean
gonna
in.
trust my body. Yeah, lean in, and I'm always pushing for authenticity. Like I can't handle us being somewhere and having conversations that don't matter. And so we quickly sat in there, and Nick facilitated us through it, asked some very deep questions, which are right up my alley, right up your alley, and the kind of everybody's walls, you could see them coming down, especially as you go through like after session or round one, and then you go back in again, and like people just feel more vulnerable. And that's what I really found the beauty of it. So for me, the physical benefits for sure. Like lately, I know I've been sleeping better, and I'm not even here to sell a product. I'm here to talk about an experience. And I'm notoriously known for like terrible sleep. Like I cannot sleep very well. I can fall asleep, I can't stay asleep, whatever. But like I've been lights out on days that I do it. I notice that I get in bed and like within like 10, 15 minutes. And sometimes it takes me an hour to fall asleep.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's been a game changer for me. And just in terms of, I've always said similar like what I do for a living, what you do as well. It's like when you get people together, you find out that you have more in common than you do separately.
Sure.
And I think that's such an environment that facilitates that. And I've also been doing it at my gym, just opened up and they do it. And so I remember the first time I was like, okay, I've been doing this for a little while. Let me see if I can talk these guys through it, ask them what it's about. And people come in there either not knowing anything about it or knowing a lot about it. And so it's kind of just like the ground is level.
Right.
You can just meet people where they're at. And so it was really interesting conversation I got to have with people at the gym that I otherwise wouldn't have had
Sure.
if it wasn't in that setting. And so that's what I really appreciate about it. And again, like the health benefits, like even as a runner, my body tends to just be sore a lot. And like just this therapy, the heat and the cold just helps so much.
Right.
Yeah.
How many rounds? Okay, let me set the record straight here. When I get in the swimming pool, I put my foot in, I
Okay.
get my knees in,
Yeah.
then I come back out, then I go back in a little, I go just a little bit of time, and it's not cold.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not
Yeah.
that cold. So how many rounds would I need to do of a cold plunge? And I just freak out thinking about it. But
Well, typically, so it's called the Nordic cycle, and that is a completion of 3 total rounds. You're going to start with going into the sauna, 15, 20, 25 minutes. You're going to exit, and you're going to cold plunge. Ideally, you're looking for anywhere 60 seconds to a couple of minutes. But at the same time, you just want to listen to your body. You don't want to be really watching the clock, settle in, and embrace. So you'll kind of do that process 3 times is typically what we find to be.
I sometimes still watch the clock. I'm like, 'cause I'm so
because listen, he and I on Instagram when it's cold, people are like, "Oh, I can't wait till the cold weather." We're making fun
we're
of
making
it,
fun.
going
It's like,
back and forth.
yeah,
making fun,
it's
like,
like,
"Oh, where are you? cold?"
where are y'all now? They should
Yeah.
be the ones doing. Honestly, I'm going to post on story. If you like being in the cold, come to this. Exactly.
Because you do this, it's cracking me up.
Yes.
And it gets in the
Yes.
cold.
I know, and like I will complain the entire way through it. But then like I find like at about like it's gonna sound crazy, but like I've gotten to once I get to the 4-minute mark, then I can just kind of tune it. The longest I've gone is 7 minutes in it.
Stop
But
that.
once I've gotten to like the 4-minute mark, then it's just,
did not.
I'm distracting my brain. So it's and then after that I'm like, I never want to do this again. And then before you know it, it's like, okay, I'm in here.
Oh
But
my gosh.
yeah, it's almost it started off as a challenge, but I was like, nope. I remember the first time I did it. It was like, oh, maybe 2 minutes again. I was like, 30 seconds, a minute. I was like, I shot up out of that tub. I was like, that was hell. And then the second round was like, maybe a minute and a half. And then the third one was 2 minutes. And sometimes the days were like, the other morning I walked in, got in it, and a minute into it, my body's like, you're not feeling this today. And I just got up and showered, and I was like, I'm going through my day.
You know, I think it'll be when Health Foods is over when
Yeah.
I do that.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about the mobile unit before I get into if people put these in their homes. So
Sure.
tell us about what you guys offer with the mobile unit, because that's what I was interested in.
Yeah, well, the mobile unit came out of a desire to allow a place for people to really experience it, because that was the biggest thing we realized. There's just not a lot of places in Fort Worth to go really try a true Nordic Finnish style sauna and
Public
cold
access. Can't
with
think of
it.
anything.
So that was kind of the original purpose behind it. It's also a great like showroom for us. Hey, here's an example of what you can buy, what you can actually have in your own backyard. And also for me, going back to why I love Henry over here is just like the thing can fit up to 12 people. There's no barrier to entry. You can get anyone in that, and the chance to meet people where they're at. Like the joy to host so many different people through that in a single day. It really tugs on my heart, and to get to see people and their walls come down, have meaningful conversations. And there's no political agenda, there's no religion attached to it. It is just an equal place for people to come.
Right.
Yeah, and when I said like there's not a lot of barriers to access, I meant as in once like the mobile sauna, for example, because like saunas are associated with either high-end things like maybe at a country club or something like that, a little bit more exclusive. But the benefit of the mobile sauna is like you can kind of just try it out, whether it's something you want to get into for the long haul, or it's something, hey, I want to do this once a month, or I just want to see if this is for me, or I want to rent this and get a group of girls or my boys together and just see what this is like, and kind of just have a unique experience that way to get closer or whatever. So it doesn't have to be like this big commitment, which like building one in your home is more of a commitment than just going to a mobile one and seeing it. And I really like that. It gives people the kind of equal opportunity to access something. It's like, do I want this or not, before you like make a long-term commitment. It's like running a car before you decide to buy it, but
Exactly.
a lot cheaper.
So with the mobile, you have both the heat component and the plunge.
Correct.
So okay, so you drive it. Walk me through what this looks like, because they're listening. So
Yeah.
what is it?
No, it's a full. So we custom built this, and it's on a 24-foot flatbed trailer.
Okay.
And you will see it coming down the road. If you see us on Fort Worth, give us a honk.
You
It
driving
will-
that?
Oh no, Tiffany.
It
Be
is.
for real here.
Not for the first year. So
It is.
I'm letting him do the driving
Yeah.
happily.
No,
Yeah.
it is. It's a learning curve to
Yes.
to get this thing around town.
Because it's large.
Because it's large.
Okay.
So, but it's versatile, meaning like we can set it up parking lots, driveways, streets, fields, kind
Okay.
of wherever a place that wants to entertain and host, we can essentially get it there.
So you take it off the truck, or
No, so it stays permanently
there,
on the
okay.
trailer. So it's
Okay.
permanently fixed to the trailer as one unit. You can kind of think of it as like a mobile, like a tiny home, essentially. I
Okay.
mean, it's the size, if not bigger.
Yeah, would you
than
say
average.
it's like the size of the studio space we're sitting in, or really
Yeah.
bigger?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. So and then you have the cold plunge there as well. So that has to get cold.
Well, the cold plunge it's built integrated with the whole sauna, so you're gonna have this kind of outdoor porch off the back of it, and it is a 6 to 8 person cold plunge. And then we have a commercial chiller that's also integrated into the
6 to
trailer
8 people in the cold plunge at one
at
time.
one time, which is actually nice. So you don't have to cold plunge by yourself. You can have the community of people.
Peer
around
pressure.
you.
Kennedy will do it.
Kennedy. yeah. Well, you know what? We've done hot and cold before. I literally, I just got in and out. I couldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
It's mental.
It's hard.
It's
It is-
mental,
it is
isn't
mental.
it?
Well, and it is, the men they can withstand the heat. No, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. Men can actually stand the cold a little bit better than women, and the women can actually usually stand the heat just a little bit better
really?
than men. So naturally, it's going to be a little bit more difficult
Yeah.
for men to get in the cold plunge. And it's all that, if you're not like an adrenaline junkie, when you get into that cold plunge, that's what's first going to get activated through your hormones, is adrenaline's going to be pumping. And if you're like, ooh, I don't like that adrenaline feeling, you're going to be like, I want to get out.
Yeah. Fight or
Yeah.
flight.
Yes.
So how cold is the water?
So the water ranges, ours can go all the way down to 37 degrees, but we usually keep it around 50. The actual temperature of the water doesn't necessarily come into play of like, okay, is this really benefiting me more at this temperature versus that temperature? I think plunging anywhere from 48 degrees to 60 degrees, and you're going to achieve the same overall
Okay.
benefits.
Did I see on your Instagram that you were in literally ice water? Like,
Yes.
Like you looked like you were in a foreign country. Follow along, y'all, on Hälsa Nordic Saunas, and you will see. Go scroll down a little bit. You and maybe your wife were in. I mean, it was ice chunks, like thick ones,
It
like
froze.
us.
It froze.
Where were you?
Where were
So
y'all?
that we were sitting on the back of the mobile.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
And it was during one of these last freezes that we just had several weeks ago, and so the top layer froze over, which it just adds, not at the end, that water was probably 35, 36 degrees, but it just added like the whole mental thing to like, now I'm breaking through ice to get into it, add another layer of mental
Well,
toughness that
I thought you were
required.
going to say something sexy, like I was in Scandinavia,
Nah,
my
wish.
my homeland, where it was freezing cold, and my wife and I decided to do. But no, it's right here in Fort Worth,
Right where-
Texas.
yep.
Okay, but it was cold. Yeah, it was cold. We were doing Instagram crazy stories,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
working with you. So, okay, so you started. You're a craftsman. you started in home building. Actually, you went under someone's wing and they taught you to become the craftsman that you are.
Yes.
Because we all need to stay in our lane. Some of us are academians, some of us are craftsmen, some people podcast. And you took that route, which took you into home building. So that home building brought you into this different realm of, should I say, luxury? Is this a luxury build for sure?
Yeah.
So how did all this come about, and how long? Tell us about your home building.
Well, I've been in the construction industry over 20 years now, and I was just so gracefully brought through a process of working with a retired structural engineer that was very, very particular. And he had MS. He was confined to a wheelchair. And I got to work with him on some very elaborate projects to where he hand taught me very specifically how he wanted things to done. So this level of high performance, high delivery of product and craftsmanship was taught to me at a very young age. So that just evolved in the construction industry, and networking with people and really be able to provide luxury services to people here in Fort Worth with remodeling, custom home building. So when the opportunity and seeing kind of the gap in the market for custom sauna builders, that's not necessarily a common thing,
Right.
much less in the state of Texas,
Sure.
much less in North America in general. So seeing a little bit of a gap in the market, also a place that, like, I just love architecture. I love the finer things of architecture, creating beauty, and then being able to pair that with like intention and health is like, man, this is kind of like all the things that I love put into one. So the platform that we can sit here and create these beautiful freestanding outdoor saunas that are just, they're luxury, they are high end, they are beautiful, they just stand out. I mean, you think of like a high end pool cabana, this is just another level up
Sure.
of like what is there. And the fact that it can be backed by intentional space that you're going to want to spend time with your family, and it's also going to contribute to your health and your longevity.
Right.
It's just like, man, this is what our society needs. Let's go for this.
Let's go for it. And you did. And you did. That is awesome. So I'm going to take you back over to the health and wellness side, because something that I've done in my life, I've had some health scares. Henry has had health scares. Something in that we hear so much about is detoxing, inflammation. And we do that. And some people think, oh, just drink a green juice and you're detoxing. Well, I'm sure that helps a little bit. But the power of this with detoxing, tell me, because you're sweating your arse off, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you should be.
Yes.
I say I don't sweat, but I've not done that.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you do.
Uh-huh.
So tell us about how that arm of health.
Yes.
I mean, we're sweating.
Yes. No, the saunas are great for detoxing. I will say, like, your sweat pores and your sweat glands aren't the primary source of where your body detoxes. It's primarily your liver, your kidney, and your gut. Those are first and foremost. Those are the first ones that are going to hit. But the sweat glands, when you go into a sauna, you're obviously going to start sweat. You're going to lose and shed off most of those heavy metals there. And that's the biggest advantage to like a true Nordic sauna, because of the temperature, the higher temperature, and the little bit of loud lure steam you can put on there. You're going to reach that point of detox much quicker and longer periods. So you're going to get a really good detox inside the sauna.
I mean, you can't not help. I mean, you can't not.
Yeah.
Because that at that temperature, certainly. So you
Yes.
did say 175, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's like what I do beef jerky at.
I love that.
I mean, I slice it very thinly,
Uh-huh.
throw it
And you
in
put
the
it up
oven,
at 175.
75. I'm cooking myself, making beef jerky. You know, there's an analogy there.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about this event that's coming up.
Yeah, so it's at that house off Pebble Creek where I had that other event.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I know, yeah, so great
That event.
location. Yeah, yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
We'll tell you another time.
But maybe we won't.
Yeah, or not.
Who knows? Yeah, so it's just a great chance for people to come and see. It's like, hey, what's this about? What's Henry doing? What's Nick up to? What's Hälsa up to? What is Special Homes up to? And so it's from 10 to 3, March 7th, Saturday. And it will be just come and go, like low commitment. Come, grab some bites, get some food, and I'm doing a guided session by me, Nick, and I, for like limited, like 12 people that can fit in there. So 12 people who want to do it, kind of just signing up, and I'll guide them through that. Then after that, it's just, hey, come and see what's this about. Hear Nick talk, hear Henry talk, and ask people who just went through it what their experience was. And from there, like if you have any interest in it, they'll be like, we'll have access. We'll link it to this podcast episode, I'm sure. But the website where you can, hey, I want to sign up for this, go ahead and do that for the mobile showcase, or I want to rent this unit, and fill out the form, and someone reach out to you and get that set up. So it's just this event's a way for us to introduce this kind of to the public on a bigger scale.
Just
So,
to announce it.
yeah.
Right.
Let's have
So, have you installed a sauna in someone's home yet?
Yes. So we offer, we specialize in custom outdoor units. So we have pre-designs options that you can go and select either, hey, I'm just looking for a 3 to 4 person sauna, or I'm looking for an 8 to 10 person sauna, but you don't want to go down the rabbit hole of, I want to custom design something from scratch. I like what I see on your website. Could I get one of those and put those in our backyard? So those units we're able to pre-build in our workshop, and then we come and deliver them usually by crane and drop them into your backyard.
Wow.
The other route, similar to like remodeling or custom home builds, we can come and custom build kind of your wellness retreat in your backyard. Maybe you do want to pair it with a cold plunge. Maybe you do want a nice outdoor deck, outdoor shower. In those cases, we come and we'll design, craft everything from scratch and build that on site. And we do offer, we do build them inside people's homes. I usually recommend people to first come to a good understanding of like what are your needs and desires with the sauna. Is it going to be something you want to experience with other people, or is it just for you? Because we've built these off inside people's master bathrooms. Obviously in that type of scenario, it's just going to be for you. You're not going to bring your girlfriends or your friends usually through your bedroom to your master bathroom. But I do cautious people when they're building them inside their homes, essentially because we do live in Texas, and you're thinking, even though it's a well-insulated unit, you're heating a room up inside your existing home to 170 plus degrees. Inevitably, that heat's going to disperse into that same room. So in my experience, I've seen like in August, you're running an AC unit that's trying to cool the house to a nice 74 degrees. At the same time, you're running your sauna at 180. It just doesn't pair super well. Thus, we really try and push people towards the outdoor sauna too, because we really believe in building it so that you can invite other people in with you on that experience.
So let's say the mobile sauna comes to my house. What kind of electrical do you need?
Just a regular outlet.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
And it is so the mobile, if you come and try the mobile sauna, you'll get to experience the real authentic process, meaning it is a wood burning sauna. There's no electric heat used whatsoever. It is literally heated by wood, a wood stove that then heats up the rocks and heats up that space. And even you can tell the difference between an electric and a wood burning sauna the more you use them and the more you experience the different levels of heat. So if you're one that really likes holistic, grounded processes, the mobile will be something you'd really enjoy.
Yeah, well, I want to try it, I think. So
Yeah. And Henry can work with you on the cold plunge. You guys.
yeah, right.
I'll hold your hand.
What do you wear?
So typically for a sauna, whatever's most comfortable, usually just a basic bathing suit.
Yeah.
There's going to be, like we always provide towels. You're going to have a spot you can kind of sit. You're going to want to sit on a towel. A lot of times we recommend, which we provide little sweat rags. You're going to want to wipe off some of that sweat. It's nice when you're like detoxing. You don't want all of that just sitting on your skin. So while you're in the sauna and starting to sweat, you'll want to wipe that off. But it is real
No makeup.
casual.
Whoa.
I wouldn't wear makeup. You typically
Not
want
what
to
I'm
take
doing
off
today.
jewelry
Yeah,
and earrings
yeah.
and like that, because metals will get hot in there.
So the event, are y'all actually going to put people in there? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is actually the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Well, tell us how we can find you, because this is fascinating. I have to
Yeah.
say, this is fascinating, and to dispel some of the myths around the saunas too, because I'm quite certain there's a need for everything in a niche.
Yeah.
But you talking about the community and everything that's involved in the detox is fabulous. But how can we find you?
No, the best way is to go to our website, HälsaNordicSaunas.com. Also visit us on our social media accounts. You can see what's going on, what we're doing. You can see, if you're curious to see what some of the current builds that we're doing, you can find us there. In the best way, we do have a business line. You call that business line, you're going to get a hold of someone that can answer some direct questions, or you're just curious to learn more. That's
Right.
the best way to get a hold of us.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Well, it is so good to see you,
Good to
of
see
course,
you
per
always.
usual, and nice to meet you. And
Yes,
thank you for
appreciate
sharing
it.
with everyone, and I'm looking forward to your event for sure.
Yes.
So thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having
Yeah.
us, Tiffany.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And then you know what I say every single Tuesday, keep being fabulous.